Greetings everyone, my name is Jonathan Bailey and I'm from the website Plagiarism Today, which can be found at plagiarismtoday.com. And I'm recording a little bit late today, some renovations going on next door, so please forgive the tardiness of this video. However, big news today is that Dotcom has once again announced that he will be launching his MegaBox service sometime this year. Dotcom, will all remember, I'm not sure which tends to use here, the owner of MegaUpload, a cyberlocker service that was shut down in January due to a joint raid by the US and New Zealand authorities. But the legal dispute over MegaUpload is continuing and will be continuing at least until March of next year, when his extradition hearing will be held. He's supposedly up for extradition to the United States. However, there are allegations, basically it's been found that the warrants used to seize him, to arrest him and seize his assets, and the search warrants were flawed, though it remains to be seen if it was fatally flawed. It's a very bizarre case, and it's going to be ongoing for some time, as lawyers for Dotcom are working both in New Zealand and the United States on this case. However, in the meantime, he has said he intends to launch a new service called MegaBox, and basically all we know about this service is that it's his attempt to revolutionize the music industry, and he says he'll be paying artists 90% of the proceeds received. So they'll be getting 90% of the cut rather than the standard royalty rate, which is obviously much lower. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting idea. But the problem is we really don't have any details as to how this idea is going to work. It's going to be a file downloading service, that much we know. And basically all the royalties, 90% of them rather, will go to the artist. Now, how it's going to make money is less clear and less obvious. It probably will not be a pay-for-download service, that much we can be pretty sure of. So it's going to be a free service, probably advertising supported. There were rumors at one point that Dotcom was doing some kind of weird and bizarre thing where he'd be replacing ads on other sites that weren't on MegaBox, some kind of software people would be installing. I don't know about that. I hadn't heard anything about that other than a few comments on Reddit about it. Don't put much veracity behind that personally, but it remains to be. But it does highlight the point that Dotcom has not been very clear about how this will make money, and if it does make money, is it enough to justify, even with the 90-10 split, is it enough to justify artists jumping on board? It remains to be seen. Obviously, this is going to be targeted mostly at indie artists who are hoping to, bypass the record label system and earn money directly. It will not be targeted at mainstream musicians who probably will still continue to go through their record labels for everything. But what's fascinating about this, and what I don't know if Dotcom realizes or has thought all the way through, is that there are actually already a lot of businesses in this field, this kind of connecting indie artists with fans and giving the artist a better cut of all the profits. I mean, there's a great article on CNN that highlights some of them, but basically companies have been doing this for a while, especially on the social media side. So it may be that not so much of what Dotcom is doing is that controversial, but that he might be late to the game. MegaUpload kind of rose to its stardom because it was one of the first cyberlockers. It was certainly one of the first major ones, and it broke a lot of new ground in that area. But here he'll be trailing other industry pioneers that are better established with the music industry and frankly are less polarizing figures, because whether you love or you hate Dotcom, there's not much doubt that within the industry he's something of a polarizing name, and he's someone that a lot of people do not want to work with, even if they're open to the idea of offering free downloads of their content. So MegaBox is apparently coming out this year. I'm not sure how Dotcom is planning on doing it. His assets are frozen. He's not even able to pay his attorney, so I guess we'll see if he's actually able to pull it off, and if so, how. There was also hints that he might be relaunching MegaUpload, sort of a vague tweet about Mega coming back and being unstoppable, but that one seems even less likely than launching MegaBox, mostly because MegaUpload was not a cheap operation to run. It required millions of dollars to keep going, and frankly, with his assets frozen, advertisers shying away from him, and basically a lot of ill will against him right now, because even though the internet definitely loves him, from a business standpoint, he's poisoned, because anytime you've had your assets seized like that, legitimately or illegitimately, businessmen get very wary of working with you because they don't want the same thing to happen to them. So that puts any future relaunch of Mega Upload in some serious question there. But still, I guess we'll see what happens if he's able to do it. I personally am kind of doubtful at this time, at least in the immediate future. Maybe after the March, and if things go his way in court, maybe then he could start looking at a relaunch. But the immediate future, you know, definitely by the end of the year, so like he's talking about with MegaBox, it seems unlikely to me. Maybe not impossible, but unlikely. So, all in all, Kim.com planning some big things, not letting the legal case against him damper his entrepreneurial spirit, if you will. But it remains to be seen, A, what he's planning on doing, and B, if he's going to be able to do it. So we'll see, I guess, in time if this is talk or if this is something major that he has in the works. On that note, everyone, not a lot to say other than that. Kind of a slow news day. So I guess I'll just say that until tomorrow, this is Jonathan Bailey, signing off.